June 27th, 2022. And I want to talk about two things that happened back to back. One happened on Saturday night, and then the other one happened yesterday, Sunday night. So I'm no longer talking to the guy that I was talking to, the one, the videos with the dates and stuff. We officially just canceled each other out. Something really weird happened on Saturday with him. After that last video of the dates and stuff, we came home and we were thinking of going out to dinner, but my sitter had been with my son all day, so I took her home, and so we decided to have some drinks and just stay home and chill and watch a movie, and that's what we did. So we took a few tequila shots and we're just chilling here. My son had gone to bed already at his regular time. We were chilling, we were listening to music. I discovered he likes to sing, and we were singing together duets. He was holding me on the couch. I had Nag Champa just lit and purple, indigo lights, and my curtain of lights appear, and the lights were off, and there was this beautiful, right there it is, different color, just awesomeness on TV. And I mean, we were just having a great time, and we were listening to all kinds of music, and we were singing. He was singing to me, and anytime I would sit here with him, he would come and just hold me. And the whole day, despite some of the mean-spirited comments that he finds funny, despite some of those comments and some of his curtness that I didn't appreciate, for the most part, the whole day was fun. And I had a great time with him. And as a matter of fact, despite those moments, this time around, I got a better sense of what we could be like together, and I liked it. I wasn't so much on the fence anymore, and as a matter of fact, I went ahead on Saturday night, before we started doing all of this together, I went ahead and just put on something really sexy and came out looking pretty fabulous and just kind of skimpy. And he seemed to like it. But we didn't get into anything like that. We listened to music and we sang together, and we had some shots, and we didn't get drunk or anything. He's not someone who likes to get drunk, and honestly, neither am I. So we were just buzzed and enjoying our night, truly enjoying our night. And I actually thought to myself that this might be the night that I might be intimate with him. I might take it there if the opportunity presented itself and the energy went into that. Didn't seem like the energy was going there. I had told him earlier that we were not going to sleep together this time around either. And I don't know if that was also a catalyst for what happened next or what, but I was secretly thinking maybe this night could be the night for us. Hence what I was wearing. But what ended up happening instead is that at one point, he started playing music. Instead of playing it on my Alexa, I'm not going to say the name because then she just gets crazy. He started playing music on his phone, and it turns out that the music that I was listening to, which was really nice, these cover songs, were from his stepdad. And so when I inquired more about it, he seemed to have an issue talking about it. So I was like, I'm not going to push it. So I didn't. I just kind of changed the subject, and asked him to, maybe we could go back to listening to regular music. And so it dawned on me then and there, like, oh, so he likes, like the indie stuff. He's like, well, I thought to myself, I'm creative, I have lyrical poetry. Let me show him a piece. And so I automatically went to show him Petty Song. And just because Petty Song is one of my more rap songs, and it's the one that lately has gotten a lot of attention, and it's kind of funny and it's aggressive, but I'm an artist, and so I showed him that, thinking that he would enjoy it, that he would see it for what it is, art, that he would see it as, okay, yeah, these things have happened to me, but this is a pretty cool way of channeling it. Or at the very least, this just despite my positive demeanor, disposition, I can lay it down, I can lay it down and perform and create something like Petty Song, like it's in me. And I thought that was impressive. I think it's impressive. Um and so I played it for him, and to my surprise, to my shock, he must have hated it. Because by the end of it, when I looked at him, I'm shaking. By the end of it, when I looked at him, thinking like he was going to say something positive about it, he had a sour face on. He had a sour look on his face. His arms were crossed, and when I asked him what was wrong, um, he was really condescending, and he was really condescending and judgmental, and just told me like, why did I even show him that? And he was really negative, and I was really taken back by that. And I was sitting next to him, I was sitting close to him, but not on the couch with him. And I got up and walked away from him because I just felt like I needed that space between us. Um, and then he just kept saying negative things about it, and it got me upset. And so I was in shock about it. Like, how are you going to be negative about this? This isn't the first time I show somebody I love her, or somebody my lyrical poetry, and it's always met with, wow, you do that? Or, some like, damn, that's harsh, but that's really good. Or like really positive reinforcement about creative, because I'm an artist. I'm a freaking artist, and this is no different than listening to your favorite band and them pouring out their heart, or being aggressive or whatever, in a song, because it's a performance, whether it's based on reality, whether it's based on truth, or whether it's based on a story they're telling. It's art. And so that's exactly what mine is. Mine happens to be based on truth, based on real facts, but who the hell cares? It's the way that I channel my life. That's the way that I choose to creatively express myself. And he was criticizing me about it, and I said, you know what, even I have two therapists, and even both of my therapists think that this is such a healthy and creative and talented way of letting these things out. You don't keep that stuff in, you let this out. And I said, you should be proud that you're with somebody who has the talent and the gift to be able to express themselves in such a creative way, in such a positive creative way, instead of doing negative things, or having negative habits, or keeping it to themselves like so many people do, you know? But it was like talking to a blank wall. It's like we were having two different conversations. He does not register anything that I'm saying. And so I was upset. I was like, are you kidding me? This guy with all his issues, with all his weirdness, with all the, the little rude things that he does, the mean-spirited stuff, the uncompromising things that he feels it's cool to do, even when he's thinking about being in a relationship. Like, I've accepted this man physically. I've accepted this man and his hobbies. I accepted this man and his passions. And he couldn't accept or compliment my artistic nature. I felt two things. I felt one, that Petty Song triggered him, like he identified with certain parts of it. And I also felt like he was almost jealous of my talent. And I noticed before, I've noticed several times that you didn't pay me compliments. He didn't react to things that other partners would react to in a positive way. He wouldn't react at all. Um, just, I didn't get an air of him. I didn't, the guy that was love bombing me, with all these things and calling me his queen and how I deserved the world and I was his world and all this stuff. And the guy that I was hanging out with were two different people. And so I started picking up my son's ABCs from the floor because he, has a play area, and I start cleaning when I get upset. So I just started doing that, and then he came over, and I thought, okay, maybe he's gonna say something a little more positive, or he sees me in distress or something. Nothing. He just came over to tell me again how inappropriate he thought that me showing him that was. How dare he? How dare I show him that? Like, what was the purpose of it? He didn't understand why I would make something like that. I was like, are you kidding me? And so I said, I think you're just triggered by it. I said, and he got up and walked to the kitchen, and then I heard him say, well, maybe I should just leave then. And that was it for me. I stood up because I'm a lioness freaking woman, and you know what? I'm not having this. I've already dealt with a man that was abusive, and two-faced and so much in the last 9 months, and this man knew exactly some of what I've endured, and he knows that I was healing, and he knew that one of my biggest triggers is being told that someone's just going to up and leave, that whole abandonment thing. And he told me, he even joked on it, quoting Dr. Alan Grant from Jurassic Park, that was not something that he would ever do to me, just up and leave. And for him to say that he was just going to leave then, that maybe he should just leave then, that triggered me. And I thought, oh my God, is this fucking man really thinking about leaving our awesome date because he got triggered by my video? And so I looked at him and I said, well, if that's how you feel, then go. And he stopped and looked at me and he said, are you serious right now? And it was like 11 o'clock at night, and he has to go travel like 2 hours through the mountains to get home. But I said, if that's what you're talking about doing, then go. Get out. And he said, fine. Grabbed his bag and left. And he left. No looking back, no nothing, no thank you, no nothing. He just left. And I stayed up maybe for another 2 hours. I realized that before he had even left my town, the city that I live in, he had already unfriended me from Facebook and blocked my number on his cell phone. And I'm like, what in the fuck is going on? Are you kidding me? Over my work, over my creative work? And so after spending a few weeks with this man love bombing me, And just this this happened Saturday night. And clearly him and I didn't speak at all Sunday. And at one point he must have unblocked me, because this morning, Monday, he sent me a message in the morning. And maybe I'll post it here. But again, we got the opportunity to talk because I reached out to him after those messages. And even we talked on the phone this afternoon. But he makes me really upset because he is still in the mindset that I'm in the wrong with this. That how dare I? And he's telling me that he's scared, that I scared him. Everybody thinks he's a fucking joke. And I think he's fucking joke. He's a fucking joke. He's fucking weak. And let's face it, obviously a Petty song triggered him. And he did tell me that listening to the lyrics of that song, it scared me, because he said, what if we get into a fight and then what, you're going to write a song about me? And I said, first of all, I wouldn't write anything about you because I just met you and there's nothing to write about. And secondly, I said, this song is about somebody that was a douchebag. I said, and put me through hell. I said, if you had actually listened to the song and you actually cared about me, you wouldn't be thinking about how this could potentially affect you. You might be, if you cared about somebody, thinking about, wow, this person has been through some really serious stuff. I want to be the person that doesn't treat this person like that, that shows this person that someone out there really loves and cares for them. Because if the shoe were on the other foot, if this would have been you showing me this, and I would have heard those lyrics, I would have wanted to be there for you, because you've been through stuff. But for you to be thinking about yourself and what could potentially happen to you if you acted like a douchebag, that's so selfish. That doesn't show me that you love me. I said that shows me that you're on the side of the person that did all this stuff to me, and you're thinking about yourself, and you're judging me. I said, you're judging me. I accepted you as you are. I don't know if I was very, very cautious of how I portrayed him on video, because I know he's self-conscious about his smile. And I can see why. I can see why he's very conscious about his smile. And other anatomical parts, I can see that they do not match the... God, I don't want to be evil. I don't want to be cruel. I know these things matter to you guys. It's like I told my cousin today when we were talking. I said, part of me not wanting to sleep with him was because I didn't sleep with him. These 1.5 dates. I didn't sleep with him. I was waiting to see more depth in him that I didn't get to see, so I could tolerate the fact that there was a letdown when it came to his height, his shoe size, his nose. Were no indication as to what was there. Let's just say that. And so I joked around with my cousin today, and I was like telling him, like, dude, why would I want to ride a Pinto when my ex was stretch Hummer, So and that's as graphic as I choose to be. But it's true. So I'm like, I was looking for more depth and more connection between us before I decided to work with what he had, And clearly I'm glad that I didn't, because I didn't get involved in his energy, and I didn't take on his bullshit. I didn't. So he's gone, and he's blocked me, and I didn't let on that I caught on to that stuff. That we're all sensitives, all my sensitive peeps. I'm surrounded by witches. And we all caught on to that was his main issue, that the whole mm, part of the song that's talking about size was triggering for him, and I could see why. So, because and we might not have slept together, but I did get a chance to examine. um, so yeah, that was something. And I can't believe that for weeks he was love bombing me, and he was saying that he was mine and we'd be together and all this stuff, and all of a sudden nothing. He's gone. He's blocked me. Um I blocked him, but I'm not somebody who likes to keep people blocked. That energy really bothers me. So I've unblocked him from my phone, and I've recovered his number. I might just delete his number eventually, but for now, he's back on my phone. And but I do have him blocked on social media. That I'll do in the future. Right now, I'm focusing on taking off my pictures, and I'm focusing on I deleted, with the exception of 3 pictures, I deleted all his pictures and our conversations. And what a joke. What a motherfucking joke for him to be triggered by my talent, my music, my lyrical poetry. Wow. I'm so taken back. I really am. Like, I was not expecting that kind of reaction. I've never had that kind of reaction before. But he's like, "Do you find it appropriate to play that kind of thing for somebody on a second date?" And I'm like, "Yeah, regardless, first date, second date, last date." I'm like, "This is my creativity. I chose to open up to you and show you something of mine that I'm proud of." And I said, I trusted you. I trusted you because I accepted you as you are. I accepted you and the things that you do. Um, the fact that, you're so obsessed with cars and obsessed with going and shooting them, and putting our relationship second to these activities and stuff. And that you're going to go and spend 5 days up in somewhere and not spend our birthdays together because this is what you're going to do. I respect all of that. You have hobbies and you're passionate about it. I accepted you like that. And the fact that you have all these girly posters like you're some damn kid when you're 44 years old. Like, I haven't said anything about any of the stuff that I see. Clearly, you've been a bachelor for a very long time, and I'm understanding. You're taking care of things eventually in your own way, and I understand that. And I accepted him like that. And for him to turn around and judge me, do you know my house is surrounded by my own artwork? He never paid a compliment, mentioned any of it, never questioned or any of it. Nothing. I've we've gone the dates that I've gone that I'm wearing a dress. Um, nothing. The first time that we met, he paid me one compliment, called me beautiful or something, and another time told me I was perfect, and that was it. This man is just constantly thinking about himself. And so we've had moments like I've cooked for him, like I did a whole bunch of wifey shit that I shouldn't have done. He was really shitty on our first date. This is why I wanted a second date, because I really wanted to see what I was up against. On our first date, we went to it's a pricey restaurant, but it's a nice restaurant. It has a good atmosphere, has great food, and that is the place where a man should take a woman for their first date, because you're trying to show a great side of you, especially on a first date. So we went there. I ordered a small bowl of soup and a salad. And my most expensive things were two drinks because I kind of wanted a drink. I wanted to get a little buzzed and just, a little happy there. And he ordered a gourmet burger. He ordered fries. He ordered a small bowl of soup. He ordered two alcoholic drinks. And what happens at the end? When the bill comes, right before the bill came, I said to him, because I'm considerate, I said to him, okay, so just not to complicate things, you pay for your stuff and I'll pay for my stuff. And then I said that, and we'll call it a day. And he said to me, well, I guess I'm just going to have to wash dishes then because I can't pay for me. And I laughed because I was like, yeah, that's funny. And so the bill came and he said, no, really, I don't have the money to pay for this. He hadn't seen the bill yet. I don't have the money to pay for this. I just, had to borrow money to get here. And I'm going to have like $30 after this, after the gas that I have to put in the car to go back home. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me right now? Wait a minute. This is our first date. And you don't tell me right off the bat that you don't have the money to go to a restaurant. Yet you order like gourmet food. You order like side stuff. You order two alcoholic drinks. And you don't have the money to pay for any of that. So you ask me, your date, the woman you've been pushing to see for weeks, and you push me into seeing you before 4th of July because that's when we were supposed to initially meet, to see you. And you don't have money to pay for not both of us, just for you. And you don't tell me this from the beginning. So I can decide whether I want to go to a restaurant that's more on the pricey side, or maybe just go cheap, or maybe eat at home. I'm not somebody who can keep the disappointing look. I can't keep my emotions to myself. They show. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and they show on my face. I felt so awkward because the bill, ladies and gentlemen, was $90. Plus a tip that I left 10. So I spent $100 motherfucking dollars on that date. On our first date. $100 to pay for him and me. And then later on the next day, because my dumbass didn't send him home, like, no, yourself. The next day I bought us all ice cream, my son, him, and I. I didn't encourage us to go anywhere. I made breakfast. I made dinner. I made an awesome dinner. He fell asleep on my bed from like 3:30 to 8 in the afternoon on my bed on that Saturday after me spending all that money. And we went to a few little places here and there, but when we got to my place, he fell asleep on my bed. I had to go wake him up at 8 o'clock at night to say, hey, my son needs to go to sleep. And his little toddler bed is in the bedroom with me, understandably so. It's just him and I. And so he finally got up. But I had the opportunity to make mole enchiladas, clean the kitchen, have them be ready, and he hadn't gotten up, and just cruise my social media. And he hadn't gotten up yet from my bed. Weren't we on a date? Like, I almost forgot at one point that he was at the house because it'd been so many hours and I was listening to music, cleaning and stuff. I got in a groove. And then when I remembered, I'm like, oh yeah, there's this stranger in my house and he's sleeping on my bed. That was so bizarre. That has never happened to me in the history of me dating somebody. And then The next morning, when I made bomb breakfast, oh, by the way, he didn't thank me for paying for us at the restaurant. He didn't thank me for making mole enchiladas or even comment on them. He finally thanked me the next morning after I made him bomb omelet, vegetable omelet with turkey and homemade flour tortillas. Um, After I made that, I also made him, because the Mr. Senorito over there, Mr. High and Mighty, wanted to eat what Kai was eating, which Kai, my son, was eating French toast. So he also wanted that. So I made him French toast. And when I gave him the French toast, he finally said thank you and gave me a kiss. While all the while ignoring me because he had put Spider-Man multiverse on TV and he was glued to that. So that was our first weekend. And I was just, ugh. Like, what the happened? Where was the guy who was love bombing me and telling me that I was his queen and that he was here to make my world a better place and that I was everything to him? And where was that guy? Where the was that guy? Because the guy that I got was opportunistic. The guy that I was with was manipulative. The guy that I met was controlling. The guy that I met was just a lot of things that the guy online was not. So, because there was some passion there, because there was something for me, and because there were moments like in that video where he comes from behind, gives me kisses, and I thrive. I thrive on love. I thrive on affection. I'm my love language. One of my love languages is touch, and so I thrive on that kind of attention. So I wanted more of that. I wanted to see more of that. And my therapist, when I told her what had happened, she wanted me to break up with him, and I never posted that video. It was challenging for me because I wasn't ready to say goodbye to him. I wanted a second date to see what he was going to do. And by then, him and I had already talked about why my therapist wanted me to break up with him then and there and what bothered me about the whole weekend that he was here. So he was going to do better the second week around, the second date around. And he even told me that he was going to take me out for dinner if I wanted that. If I mean, we didn't have to, but if I wanted to, then he would take me out to dinner. This man works a 40-hour shift, and actually, as a matter of fact, he was working more the last 2 weeks that I met him. So I don't know where he's spending his goddamn money, but suddenly he didn't have any. So, no. And then he pulls this on me the second time around. I feel like it was a combination of me telling him earlier that day that we were not going to sleep with each other yet. And I looked at him because he was giving me a look, and I said, "You don't want to be with somebody who you know has slept around with everybody she meets." And he's like, "No, that's not what I want." And I said, "Then you should be thankful that I'm waiting for us to get to know each other better." And so I'm just floored by, after all of that and all his love bombing and being so amazing to me through text and phone, mostly text, that all of a sudden my video scared him off, and that was it. That was it for him. He loved me. All of a sudden he just loved me. Today, that's what he told me, and he wrote it when he texted me. And I told him about something that really shitty that happened to me yesterday. I told him about it. I haven't told anybody, and I'm not entirely sure I want to talk about it on video, but I'm going to try to make a video of it next. And his reaction was to say, "I'm sorry that happened to you. If I had been in your life, if we would have continued dating and I would have been in your life, you would have been safe from there on out." And I was like, "Oh my God, are you serious? This is your reaction to what I just told you?" shit. That man is shit. And you know what? I'm done. I'm done dealing with a toxic boyfriend that I had for 9 months. This asshole won't get a third date. He won't get anything from me. Um, and I told him this last time, you have shark eyes. And he's, shark eyes? I said, yep. I don't trust his eyes. I don't. And I knew. I'm like, I didn't fall in love with this man. This fool. I didn't. And I didn't trust him. And I was comfortable and in a certain way, but I wasn't trusting him. I'm like, hell no, I'm not gonna let my guard down, with good reason, because I've been there with Montana, and he reminded me of Montana a lot. And I wouldn't doubt if this man's also a sociopath, because how can you love bomb somebody and so quickly be all about him like that, and then just as quick, sociopath tendencies, just as quick turn around and make them the enemy. And then all of a sudden you loved them. They're no longer what you thought they were at the beginning. So I saw things that were very similar. And as a matter of fact, sadly, I think Montana was more affectionate than this guy when it came to verbal conversation and verbal affection. So yeah, I knew that I was up against something weird. But I used the situation to propel myself forward and out of the trauma that was left from Montana. So, and my twin flame kept popping up because of Mercury retrograde, damn it. And then I think Saturn's in retrograde too, so that's been really annoying. And so it's brought up a lot of things. And then with my twin flame popping up out of nowhere, and us connecting, and him telling me how he's feeling about me still, and all that was really triggering. So this guy, Minnesota, because that's where he's from, coming into my life and kind of distracting me from all that, or kind of pulling me from all of that, was a welcome thing. And even though that I knew he was love bombing me, and I knew that there's no way someone could just be so in love with me all of a sudden, I was cautious about it, and I was enjoying the energy, and I like having somebody to talk to throughout the day and stuff. So I got what I needed from him. But wow, what a scumbag, seriously, to do that to somebody. And I read the messages before I deleted them. I read some of them, and I'm like, oh, that's so sad. That's so sad that someone could say all those beautiful things to you and not mean jack shit of what they're saying, you know? Or maybe mean them, but you don't mean something if you say them and it's only been like a week or two. It's been like 2-3 weeks and you've changed your mind about that person. That's not okay. And you know what? With him, because of all the things that I've been through, and because he didn't rile me up like Montana did, I was really just calm and accepting. And he has kind of a calm aura about him, because he's just like shark baiting you, you know? He's just like seeing your weaknesses and stuff, you know, a little freak just like all the other ones. But he was open about things, sorta. He was honest about things, as far as I know. Never gave me like real reason for me to like red flag him like that. Not like that. And so I wasn't phased. And because I wasn't like in love with him, I wasn't like trying to see what was going on. Like, are you deceiving me or something? He didn't give me that aura. So I was really calm. I was really calm, and I was really accepting, and really go with the flow with him. And so he loved that about me, that I made him feel really happy, that I accepted him for his situation on his face, that I accepted him for the situation on his mouth, that I accepted him for his hobbies and all of this stuff. And what does he do to me? Just betray me, just judge me, just treat me like shit, just be really curt with me on several occasions when he'd answer like almost like a duh, you know? And then in that video where he's like, calls me royal pain in the ass. Like, there's no reason for that. Absolutely not. We don't, for one, we don't joke around like that. We never have. Um, no, not really. And then two, there's nothing that he could say. Like, we haven't had a relationship where I've been a pain in the butt and he can say something like that. No, he just said it because he could. And he's mean-spirited. So, yeah, that it's over. It's done. And he can block me all he wants. He can keep me blocked. He can unblock me, whatever he wants to do. But I will never return to him. Ever. Yeah. Got what I needed from him, which was just getting out of that energy from the exes. And I'm feeling fine about it. And I'm going to keep dating other people and keep getting to know other people and not invest my heart into anybody. Now let's talk about what happened yesterday.